Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. It is StarLadder Season 6, Day 11, and a game between TCM and OsG for today, for all three matches that we'll see today, as this is game number 1 of today. I will be joined by Vykromond. Welcome back.
Thanks, it's good to be back. How are you doing?
Good. I was kind of worried there that you had that.
Oh, I was just muted.
Yeah.
I had to unmute myself.
that one split second where I thought, something should be said now. That made me worried.
Just an awkward silence.
Yeah.
No, I'm here. It's
Cool.
it's definitely good to be back. I'm excited for today's games. We've got a really big one coming up next, but I'm excited for this one too.
Yeah, I will just, before we jump ourselves further into the match, first, like I said, 3 games, so TCM, OsG, and then the big one of today, it is Roxkiss taking on the Alliance in their first match since they are back from China. And then after that, it is also one that I'm really looking forward to. It's KP versus Roxkiss. Should be a really good one as well. And before we jump ourselves further into the draft again, I have scores. So right now, oh, I apparently didn't change that properly, but right now, Virtus.pro is undefeated with 5 games played. They're on top of the list. They have 15 points. Navi also having 15 points, but they actually lost 1 game against DD, against which Virtus.pro hasn't played yet, so that's something to note right there. We know that Pandas, as you can see, somehow already have 15 games played. That's because they got dropped out of StarLadder, or they are dropped from StarLadder, be that disqualified or withdrew, we don't know. But we do know that all their games will be turned into losses, so even the 1 win that you see standing there will be removed. Roxkiss already got their 6 points credited, so that's still something you have to imagine on top of that list. But right now we see TCM, OsG. OsG could really use an extra point or 2 or 3 rather. And TCM as well, they're both sitting on 6 points. However, one team has 9 games played, the other 3 games played, so that's a big difference right there. And the draft is actually not that far in just yet. We have got a bit of normal bans, I guess. Well, not really normal actually. We have 3 supports with the Wisp, Cuddle and the Nyx Assassin. Lifestealer banned out, leaving the Batrider in for the first pick for OsG. And a Clockwork and a Shadow Demon picked up by TCM.
Did you say that one of these teams has 9 games played
5
already?
seconds remaining.
OsG has 9 games played.
Wow, they're really... So most of their season is already done, I guess.
And I have to say, like, they are a team that 15 minutes before the game starts, they're there. They're all there. No stand-ins for the entire season. I can't help but, you know, really liking this team, even though their results haven't been that impressive. They have now got 2 wins, obviously, one because of QPad. And I'm not quite sure who they won the other one from. I think it was actually Power Rangers. No. I don't know anymore. Confusing. But yeah, I'm hoping that they can stay in StarLadder.
Yeah.
Because they have no chance anymore to stick it into to be in the top 4. That's that's over, obviously.
Of course.
But they just came here new, so I'm just really hoping that they can stay in Star Series for this season.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, they were pretty impressive in some respects. I've liked their play. They beat Roxkiss, by the way, didn't they? Isn't that who they beat?
Reserve time.
That might be the case, yeah.
I think they beat Roxkiss, yeah.
Yeah, in Roxkiss's down period after the Western qualifiers. That's
yeah, when Roxkiss were feeling all depressed.
Exactly. We do have a Phantom Lancer together with a Rubik picked up. A very early Phantom Lancer. I wasn't expecting him to be banned, especially not since the Keeper of the Light is already out. They also pick up a Rubik with it, so they've got like 2 cores already done with their Rubik as a support, leaving offlaners to be banned out probably by TCM, depending on what that Batrider is going to do. I mean, in theory, you can go into the jungle. And the Gyro now for TCM. I'm not quite sure if TCM uses the Clockwork as a support, but if they do, Shadow Demon Clockwork, of course, a very strong combination. Disruption, Clockwork walks up there, cogs around to disrupt the target, and down the target goes. Especially with the Soul Catcher.
If you can get the Gyro really close, then that's a very strong tri-lane, just because if you can actually get the Gyrocopter inside of that cogs area where he can use his Rocket Barrage and actually keep hitting the target, then it's very, very strong. I think it's still more likely that we'll see this Clockwork in a solo lane capacity. But this is, of course, this is the nice thing about Clockwork, right? Like, you can put him, when you draft a Clockwork in the first phase, it's not that he's such an overpowered hero, although he's very, very strong, but it's that it says nothing about where your draft is going. It leaves you completely open.
Exactly. And OsG actually banned out the Kunkka. We've seen a lot of Kunkkas today, of course.
In the Eastern...
In Eastern Dota. Not just today, actually. The entire weekend as well. Yeah. And wasn't really expecting seeing him picked up by TCM, to be fair. Especially not since they already picked up the gyro. But yeah, they don't want to face it. Don't want to face the Magnus either, with the Storm now getting banned out. So it looks like TCM is expecting Batrider to be the offlane.
Or jungle capacity of some sort, yeah. That is very possible. Batrider, of course, is one of the fastest, if not the fastest junglers in the game. He's very strong. I think one thing that I want to look out for is if OsG actually pick up something like a Treant Protector in the second phase. I think, so I'm, basically what I'm intrigued by in this draft is this PL, especially taken up so early. So the question becomes, how do they want to make this PL work? And one way that we've seen DD use an early drafted PL is to use Treant Protector to make the PL feel more aggressive in lane, as well as make your Batrider more aggressive as well.
That's very true. It's yeah, it gives away so much of your draft already. It's tough for it's tough for OsG to now pick something up that they really want to have, I guess. Well, wow, I'm talking no sense whatsoever. I was actually trying to tweet the game, so. I was in tweeting that we were live, etc., but it didn't really work out because I was forced to talk already beforehand. But we are seeing the Lone Druid now banned out. I was kind of surprised to see him not getting picked up or banned before. He has played a very dominant role in the metagame lately, though you have to have that one player that's really good with the Lone Druid, I guess.
Yeah, I'm somewhat surprised. When you see Lone Druid slipping to phase 2, it's almost always in the Western scene. The Eastern scene never lets that Lone Druid go this long, but if he makes it through the second phase, he's a very good second phase ban. Both of these teams could easily slot the Lone Druid in, and because Lone Druid is probably one of the 3-ish strongest heroes in the game right now, if not the strongest hero, depending on who you ask, if you can just get a Lone Druid for free and he slots into your lineup just like that, it's such a big win for your team. So it's a smart ban if it gets through this far. It's interesting, these bans like Enchantress, Kunkka, it really makes it seem like these teams we're watching earlier today with these heroes doing extremely well.
Yeah, it's really interesting right now because, of course, a lot say that like the metagame of the Eastern Dota is behind ours. But at the same time, they take our metagame, kinda, and then sort of refine it somehow.
Yeah, I don't know that I believe, like, a lot of people talk about, yeah, like, the Eastern metagame is too static, especially after G1. So people didn't really say this, but then after G1, everyone's like, oh, they're like 6 months behind. Yeah. Really what it is, in my opinion, so I could be completely wrong, is that a lot of the Chinese teams in particular dramatically underestimated Wisp, in particular IO. So, like, they thought IO was a hero that was very, very easily handleable, and that took them by surprise, just how the Western teams were able to deploy IO. But I think other than IO and maybe underrating Gyrocopter a little bit, I wouldn't call the Eastern metagame that behind. Like, they use Kunkka a lot more, they use Visage. I am 100% expecting Visage to make it over to the Western metagame. Because, yes, you can say that the Western teams had it first, like, obviously, even if you go back to Complexity using it at TI2, but Eastern teams are using it as a first pick right now. Like, it's that strong, and I expect Visage to come over, no question.
Yeah, I mean, it's already been making a bit of an impact in some games, but not as much as you would see it in the Eastern. Yeah, I really like that the bridge is there with just one weekend and just the qualifiers. Everybody is trying out new stuff from other people. It's really enjoyable. I like the Skywrath Mage pickup. It could be a support here, could be a solo mid, but the main thing that we of course take from this is that it is actually really nice against the Clockwork. The moment that the cogs are there, Clockwork is in a lot of trouble, and it kind of forces him to pick up a 4-staff.
It does, absolutely. Skywrath is funny. He's like Jakiro, where he's very good with Clockwork, and he's very good against Clockwork, because the thing that Clockwork guarantees is that he and one target will be sitting in one defined space for 5 to 8 seconds. And Mystic Flare, an ability that's very hard to make land for its full duration, is fantastic to just respond to that. So I totally agree. We're going to see Clockwork probably take a faster 4-staff than usual. The interesting question here is, are they going to run the Skywrath mid, or is it more likely to be a support Skywrath?
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and maybe with the Nature's Prophet pickup, we might actually see the Clockwork as a support still for TCM. And by the way, the Mystic Flare duration is shorter than the Disruption duration, so Shadow Demon is a bit of a counter towards that, but I'm kind of expecting Shadow Demon to have a priority for disrupting less suit targets, or Phantom Lancer to get himself some illusions. I mean, there's a lot of targets for him to disrupt, and one of them will probably be in a lot of pain if he doesn't, but, you know, you can only save one person at a time.
I agree. There's the main priority is, as you said, it's going to be disrupting either the Bat Rider or the person that he's lassoing. So he's not likely to still have it by the time Mystic Flare goes down, but that's a great point. If he is able to... There are some counter synergies already built into this this team composition. So, like you said, the Mystic Flare can be nullified by the disruption. Sprout ganks, so holding somebody in place to set up your Clockwork or your Gyrocopter or something, is automatically killed by Firefly, like you can clear out without needing a Quelling Blade or anything like that. So there's quite a bit of give and take in these teams, and I don't really think one team has that big of an advantage just based on the draft. Both teams have pretty strong lineups. Queen of Pain obviously most likely to go mid, and then the Bat Rider either off lane or jungle, although we'll have to see what the 5th pickup for TCM is, but I'm feeling more of a jungle Bat Rider here.
Me too. I mean, they're probably just gonna try to safe lane that Phantom Lancer completely. As we have actually Leshrek last pickup, so what are we gonna see mid coming up from TCM? Is that gonna be Clockwork or Leshrek mid?
My guess is, well, no, my guess is Leshrek is going to be with the Shadow Demon for a very strong support duo in roaming, and that leaves either Clockwork or Nature's Prophet for the mid. You can run both. You're up against a Queen of Pain, so I would say that the Nature's Prophet is probably going to be a little better. But Clockwork is, in the days of Bottle Crowing, as long as you don't straight up die, you can survive the mid. So it just depends on who they sort of want to allocate more farm to. But I would say that Nature's Prophet, probably a better call, unless they want to just abandon the off lane, run Clock mid and Nature's Prophet in the jungle.
Yeah, they have some options. I'm kind of, there's nothing really pairs up nicely together with the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain should win the mid probably regardless. At least in terms of last hits. She might not be able to kill off her target, but it is not going to be easy for the one that is chosen to go mid there for TCM. But let's see who's playing what, and wow, look at that Rubik set. Just saying.
Is it the popped collar Rubik set?
No.
Yes!
Yeah. Very high popped collar, that is. But this is Brain playing Rubik for his team. Slander in the mid lane on the Queen of Pain, Judo on the Bat Rider. Interesting to state, by the way, Judo is normally the one to take the farm from OsG Gaming. Elba on the Phantom Lancer, who's normally playing the support.
God, what's the team? Tongfu, I think? I don't remember, but there's an Eastern team that plays Wisp, and whenever they play Wisp, their #1 player always plays the Wisp, because he's just so good at it. So maybe it's a situation where if they draft Bat Rider, Judo is always playing that, even though he's usually their carry.
Okay, apparently my stream just reset, but it should be back up in just a moment.
That's too bad.
Yep, I don't know why that happens, but it's the pause anyway, so that helps.
Should I introduce TCM?
Yes, please.
All right, so for TCM, try and take this win over OsG. They only 3 games played, you said?
TCM has only got 3 games played, yes.
And they've won 2? So they're still in pretty good shape then. 2-1, it's a good start. So Go Audio is going to be, he's their typical carry player. We're going to see him up on the Gyrocopter. He will be supported by Atze on the Shadow Demon and Hawaii Oo on the Leshrek, which leaves Blueberry Ninja to go up on the Nature's Prophet, and Verna will be on that Clockwork as soon as he actually, you know, zones in.
Yeah, indeed, as he is the... Well, they are ready apparently, but not yet picked up. But we're going to assume it's ready. Let's see if we're going to see some swap roles, but it probably is as you say it is, just with people playing heroes more frequently than others, and that's that. And by now, well, I'm not live just yet. Oh, this is live, like this is going to be heard. But I'm kind of giving chat like stream reset in
5, 4, 3.
Yes. Sounding all official, like, you know, people won't be able to miss it if this happens.
Right. So the matchup in the mid, I really think that this is going to be a pretty tough situation for Verna. It's going to be very execution-based. If he can do something like Cog's Queen of Pain when she comes in to try to cast her Shadow Strike on him, he might actually do okay, just because Cogs is such an efficient and good drain. It drains both health and mana, and substantially more even with 1 hit. So if he can Cogs effectively, I see him doing okay in this lane, because he is mid and it's going to be Nature's Prophet. My guess is jungle, But we'll have to see if he goes off to the off lane. But it's almost certainly jungle, considering what he has. So it's a tough lane for Clockwork because he's not able to effectively harass Queen of Pain. He's in fact not able to do much of anything until he hits level 6. But he might be able to get some farm just by good cogs placement and good last hitting.
Hey, what are you making from that courier that's hanging around the secret shop right now?
The battle begins.
Huh.
Who hasn't bought anything yet?
So Nature's Prophet has. Oh no, he bought out for Gloves of Haste. So he has he got pooled 2 Clarities and he has a Haste Gloves. I don't know what that courier is doing there. Actually, I'm still checking what people's item loadouts are. Nothing looks. Oh, Go Audio. Okay, he has only Tangos.
Yes. What's he gonna get?
So what the hell is he rushing?
Because the Ring of Health.
I'm at a loss.
He can get a Ring of Health. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. He's gonna block the ward camp!
It's blocking.
Oh
nice.
My god!
Sick.
That is next level!
Big plays.
If they can continue doing that, look at that! They're gonna continue doing that!
That's funny. Yeah, I was like, he can't possibly buy a Ring of Health. That'd be completely pointless.
Yeah,
you can see Verna, by the way, already getting kind of dumped on.
Even if he was gonna buy a Ring of Health, he can buy it at the side shop, so...
Right. He's gonna get caught this time, though, like... This is great. I love this. Very sneaky. Because, yeah, any unit will block the creep spawn. He didn't block the hard camp spawn, unfortunately. But he did get that camp, the mid camp, the full camp. This is very nice. They know, so they know it's not a ward. But still, it's still nice to be able to block. That's very nice play. Yeah,
the downside is when it happens, like next time there's gonna be 3 people standing around there waiting for a courier to come and free gold. Yeah. So they have to use the haste every time and really maneuver that properly. But that's really next level.
It's pretty high level. So people do that sometimes. If you get the early flying, you can do stupid tricks like that, like blocking the camp. I don't see teams do it that often simply because it's very risky. Like if you run the courier straight into the 2 supports and you lose that courier, it's awful situation. Especially considering Audio, I don't know what he's rushing, but he has 1100 gold up.
Midas?
He could rush Midas. Yeah, they could do double Midas because Nature's Prophet in this game is also rushing Midas. This would give them a very slow start against a Phantom Lancer, but it would get the Gyrocopter pretty quickly high level. I mean, the XP when you get it very early is a huge deal.
Yeah, and that courier is now giving up. So he blocked it a couple of times, and then he backed off. Realizing that maybe next time, 3 times is a charm.
Well, he blocked. It looks like he blocked the 2-minute.
Yeah,
he got the 2-minute as well. So that's 3 successful creep blocks. Well worth it for 220 gold, frankly. Especially considering you can then. It's not like you lost the investment. You still have a flying courier. As long as it doesn't die, that's a very nice investment.
Yeah, well, it was needed for Werner because he needed some extra help. Yeah. He needs his bottle. So maybe after that we're gonna see it flying back, but he will miss one. Looks like OsG looking for a gank. They've got the telekinesis, they've got the silence, and of course the spammable bolt. Let's see how far they can get though, because Clockwork is a very tanky hero and he just drank that entire bottle, sends a courier back on his way, and oh, they're gonna try it anyway. Those cogs though.
He's in trouble.
Yep, there they go. Telekinesis out of the cogs with him. And that should be First Blood going the way of OsG, unless Werner. Nah, he's dead. Boom. First Blood going to Obi-Wan Bannon.
Pretty solid First Blood. First Rubik strong against Clockwork because he can lift you right out of your cogs and put you wherever he pleases. In this case, putting him north of the cogs. They had a funny situation where they planted a sentry ward, but they had to pretend like they didn't see this observer. But now they will deward this. It gives much worse vision now for Verna. This was actually an important kill for Oslic because they were not winning mid, interestingly enough. Clockwork at the time had the same amount of last hits as Queen of Pain and only 2 or 3 fewer denies. So being able to earn that kill and actually put the Queen of Pain ahead on XP is a big deal to win this lane.
I'm quite surprised that Queen of Pain wasn't doing as well as I thought she would be.
He was focusing purely on harassment, and when in the era of Bottle Crow, you actually want to make sure that you still get your last hits because it's hard to harass someone to death.
Yep, we are going to be seeing a gank from the other squad. It is Hawaii and Nazi coming in. There is, of course, that moment in time where Queen of Pain should be able to blink away in between, should the timing not be properly done by the Radiant team. Looks like they're going to move backwards, though. I mean, they're ganking the Queen of Pain. They can't really run up front. They have to get the disruption in at a better angle, but it looks like they're not going to even try to find it. They will be having their smoke removed, even though there's no wards up on the Dire side on this side of the map. But
Dire's bottom tower
let's
is
see.
under attack.
They're still gonna
Yeah,
try
this
it.
is. I'm very interested by this choice of ward and not the incoming gank ward because I don't know. It's definitely an interesting choice. It does give ward vision. It's less rotation for the supports to actually place the ward there. Plus, it lets you know if people are coming in this way to your jungle. But it doesn't warn you of incoming smoke ganks. That time, however, StarLadder is playing safe enough that he's pretty difficult to gank right now.
Yeah, and they're not even gonna try it. So that's the smoke wasted. That's quite a bit of gold there wasted as well. In the meantime, the
man.
supports on OsG. Oh, what?
Nothing, sorry. I was just looking at how stacked these jungle camps are. This is going to be an extremely fast Blink Dagger for Batrider. Like, take a look at this hard camp over here, and then also this camp. Like, there's a lot of stacked camps for the Batrider.
They want to get his Blink Dagger out fast, and the moment he has that, we will see a change of pace for sure. As we already have got another ganking coming, another smoke gank, another time that Warren is on the wrong side, looks to be on the wrong side of the river, will be getting telekinesis and silence and arcane blasted, bolted rather, and just dropping as well. No hope for him.
Nice, very clean, very basic executed ganks here from OsG, but they're very, very effective against that mid-Clockwork, who is vulnerable, because to last hit he needs to be in melee. And if your Clockwork is stuck in melee range when the smoke gank comes in, it's not that Verna is misplaying per se, it's just that it's very, very difficult to actually make it out of that alive. Because your defensive tool is Cogs, which is useless against a Rubik.
Yeah, we do have Go Audio going for Hand Midas, so he has that. And he probably had it for a while already. In terms of last hits, he is a bit behind the Phantom Lancer. Phantom Lancer today at 43 to 25, so he's having a good time. Like, really having a good time. And 41 to 11 for Go Audio. But in terms of gold, whoa, wrong button. In terms of gold, it's the Gyro that's ahead. That's the Hand of Midas doing his work.
Absolutely. It's a very interesting choice to me that TCM have gone for. They clearly don't feel the pressure from OsG early, which is interesting because OsG do have a lot of potential damage, especially considering Judo is going to build a quick Blink Dagger. So it's an interesting choice that they've gone Midas on 2 heroes, and both of those heroes have no items other than Midas. I mean, like, okay, Nature's Prophet has a Ring of Protection, and Gyro has Boots. But that's it. These are very weak heroes right now, so OsG need to take advantage, and here they go.
Bottom lane, Go Audio. In some trouble, but Disruption there to help out. Cooldown coming down. Brain! Whoa, he just got bursted down real fast. That's the help of Leshrek's Edict, of course, level 2. And I was thinking they're gonna go for a push, and probably OsG thought that too. And with the kill now on the hand, they should be able to get the get the tower, especially since Werner is hanging around there as well. So nobody is able to get close unaware, and they'll take this gold advantage. And we were already saying that Gyro was slightly ahead with this tower, especially if he gets the last hit as well. He'll be even further ahead. In the meantime, it looks like Phantom Lancer is also going for a bit of a push of his own though. So that he might look to make a difference as well, even though he is by himself. No supports there because everybody is hanging around the tier 2 bottom. And with everybody, it's just basically me and Rubik and
You probably saw that only Shadow Demon actually has a town portal in his inventory, so there was nobody to punish the Phantom Lancer in any meaningful way. So that was a smart little play there from PL, from Alba. OsG, that was a pretty serious mistake because Brain is still stranded at a very low level. Like, he just barely hit level 3, so that was a waste of time for him. And it was also a waste of time for Batrider, for Judo, who didn't work towards his Blink Dagger because he was busy failing to gank. So that's a lot of lost time for OsG, and time is of the essence when you're facing a double Midas team. I mean, you want to punish them for that decision. Verna, he's in trouble.
Yeah, in a lot of trouble. He will die. That was an invisible rune. Queen of Pain walks into Obi-Wan. No Sonic Wave even needed. And Rubik takes the kill.
Yeah, Verna has had a tough time.
Yeah. But he's still level 3, like every time he's involved in a kill, and he's been involved in all 3 kills, he is with multiple people, and therefore his experience is not really that high. The camps that he stacks are not for him, and it's kind of hurting right now. As you said, I mean, he needs that levels. He needs that level 6 at some point, and the supports of TCM are getting ahead of the supports of StarLadder, even though they're not getting the kills, they're getting the experience in the jungle.
Yeah, OsG have very much put Brain in the hard number 5 role this game. Which, I mean, you need a number 5, certainly, but Rubik is a far better candidate than Skywrath Mage, who is quite level dependent. So I understand this decision completely, but it does mean that spell steal is not something they can count on this game, which the spells to steal aren't that game-breaking. Like, there's a lot of good stuff, but nothing truly insanely good. So it's okay for this Rubik to have delayed level development, as long as the rest of the team doesn't. And you can just see that mid differential. Look at Clockwork's XP per minute, and then compare it to Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain is 200 XP per minute ahead. That translates to almost level 9 versus almost level 7. That's a big, big difference in the mids.
Yeah, and Queen of Pain is one of those heroes that in mid-game, like, between 10 and 20 minutes, that's her time to shine. And right now, she's looking like she will. Now, she hasn't picked up any specific items yet, at least, you know, no talisman for a bit of early game aggression. She now has her treads as well, has got that bottle, and she has her Sonic Wave. I think she's ready to fight, and she is probably going to be forced to fight soon, because TCM is looking for some action on the top lane, looking to take down Elba, perhaps, with the Phantom Lancer. They do have Dust with them as well, twice actually, just in case. Flare will scout them out, but scout him out rather, the Phantom Lancers. But,
that positioning didn't work out at all for that
not
gank.
Not at all. Of course, you need that hook in then, but they couldn't find it, and well, that's gank wasted.
Phantom Lancer is incredibly annoying to try to hook as Clockwork. In fact, this entire team is very annoying for Clockwork to play against. Like, Queen of Pain can blink out of your cogs, you can get silenced, you can get Mystic Flared inside of your own cogs. Phantom Lancer is hard to hook. It's just very problematic, and Rubik can take you out of your cogs. It's just a very problematic lineup for Rubik. For Clockwork. That's the flip side. You can draft Clockwork early, and you can do any lineup with it, but it's not like Clockwork doesn't have counters, or doesn't have heroes that are good against him.
Yeah, looks like Clockwork is already looking for maybe a hookup on StarLadder. StarLadder realizes what's going on, though. He has a ward near the Ancients. I believe he at least spotted Werner with that. I think he can. Yeah, he would be
interesting. It's interesting that Alba has decided to go for the fast Yasha, so he could go straight for a Manta style, which would give him actually incredible early pushing and farming power. Or he could just hang on to the Yasha and pick up things like Drums. I really think Drums is just amazing on PL.
Yeah, Drums, and then go, of course, for your Diffusal Blade at some point. But Yasha early on, it's interesting to see him do that. I wasn't really expecting that. But we will see how active he is going to be able to be with that early on. And I mean, to be fair, he doesn't have to be active early on, because it doesn't look like Go Audio is going to be active at all. I mean, he is just farming. He's got 2100 gold of himself right now. Still ahead of the Phantom Lancer, but for how long? We're not sure, especially not since Judo picked up his Blink Dagger.
Yes, that's a critical pickup, is the Blink Dagger for the Bat Rider. It lets them initiate much better, and Gyrocopter, he's going to be vulnerable to that Blink Dagger a lot, considering the fact that he's still going this incredibly greedy approach. They want to... So, Phantom Lancer games versus Gyrocopter it's basically a race. It's Phantom Lancer's ability to tank damage versus Gyrocopter's ability to dish out damage. And TCM have decided that the way that they're going to win this race this game is by just going all-out farming style on Gyro. So he's gotten the Hand of Midas and the Helm of the Dominator. Meanwhile, PL, Yasha is his equivalent of that, because the extra movement speed and attack speed actually helps your farm a lot. It looks like TCM will grab this mid tower as well. So this is the thing, they can create some space with the Nature's Prophet and the rest of their pushing lineup with Leshrac, and just get tons and tons of farm for the Gyrocopter. But it really has to be an uninterrupted stream of farm. If Gyrocopter gets ganked multiple times, the PL is going to race ahead.
Yeah, and OsG, they were looking for action there on the bottom lane. Weren't able to fight it because, of course, everybody of TCM was on the bottom lane. And they're kind of looking for action in a way, like you said. I mean, they need Phantom Lancer to have that farm, so they're trying to use their other heroes to buy time, and they have great heroes for that. But TCM, they seem to be aware of what OsG is trying to achieve and are not letting it happen and trying to create their own space on the map and actually take Go Audio with them with that. Get himself a Helm of the Dominator, tier 1 tower, last one standing for OsG. Is going to be in some trouble. And with that tower, also Phantom Lancer is going to be involved in the fight, if there is indeed going to be a fight.
I'm kind of concerned for Oslick. I think if they get a good initiations from the Bat Rider and they can get a few kills soon, they're in pretty good shape. But I'm not sure that in this game they can just afford to wait and farm up the Phantom Lancer. You have a Queen of Pain that had a very good early game, like she outleveled the opposing mid by a lot. You should be trying to, in my opinion, use that Queen of Pain to generate more advantage, find kills across the map. They need to ward better, for one thing. They're just getting counter-warded a lot. You can see that TCM's vision is vastly better, and they have map control in the form of the towers. This is seriously problematic for us. Like, in my opinion, they must get ganks, or these Midases are actually going to overwhelm the PL, weird as it might be to say.
Yeah, well, talking about ganks, bottom lane. Alba, they dust. See the real one. Disruption. Soulcatcher lands on the creep though. But they have the cogs there. It might be enough. And it is enough. Werner picks up the kill. An important one for TCM. Very important. But here comes OsG looking for revenge. No TP out for Hawaii. Will probably go down. And indeed, there he goes. He at least buys enough time for Werner to get away though. But it's still a Shrek for Phantom Lancer still. So I think that TCM is going to be happy with that regardless.
Leshrac for Phantom Lancer is a very, very, very good trade. Blueberry Ninja actually in a little bit of trouble here. Judo, I think they can get this kill no problem.
Yeah, there's still
Meanwhile, Go Audio.
Oh, hey, Go Audio. Welcome.
Nice.
That's the last who wasted. That's Brain IT. No, never mind. No TP. Flat Cannon.
We're talking about a level 12 gyrocopter hitting a level 6 Rubik.
Yep.
Oh, Slander actually. Wow, he got himself in trouble as well. OsG are being pushed back across multiple lanes right now. I mean, especially the PL death was critical. This PL is holding an immense amount of gold. No reliable, because of course he's only been part of one assist, I think. So, what are they building on PL? Are they just going to go straight for the Mantis style? Or, I mean, he's holding so much gold. If he wanted the Diffusal, he should have been building it by parts already. I wonder if we're seeing Radiance, and I'm not sure about this decision. Or Straight Heart, maybe?
Nah, not a straight hard. I'm also hoping it's not going to be a Radiance. I'm not having that much faith in Phantom Lancers that do that anymore. I mean, that's a bit old school, and you can see already. I mean, they need a Phantom Lancer that is ready to fight because TCM is going to be ready to fight soon.
Is under attack.
Absolutely, TCM. They have not gotten punished for these Midases. Neither Nature's Prophet nor Gyrocopter have a single death to their name. And Gyrocopter, he went Tango Midas. Like, he got no stats. He was so punishable, except for the fact they had a strong tri-lane. And when they've tried to find ganks, they've been really, really heavily punished. Oh, Slender might be in trouble here.
Yeah, you can TP away, actually. Or can he? No, hook shot. Hey, Werner, welcome to the fight. And good kill there.
Not the strongest enemy I've grappled with.
With the Soulcatcher there, it just hurts. Even a blink can't stop him then. And that's my Skype call dropping. Why? Is the Skype dropping? I lost connection to me on Skype. Call him back. Hello?
Hi.
I don't know why we lost connection there.
I don't know. Skype is weird sometimes.
It's true.
They did end up going Diffusal Blade for the PL. I don't know why he held so much gold for so long, but he did pick up a kill and finish it. Did you see the kill on Slander top though? That was insane.
Yeah, I saw the kill on Slander top. I didn't see Leshrac kill.
Leshrac kill was way less interesting. Because killing a Queen of Pain who has rank 4 Blink is not an easy task, but they held the hookshot back, which was really, really smart. It was just really, really good play from TCM on top there.
Yeah, really solid. And yeah, like you said, an important kill. And with that, the tier 1 tower, of course, went down. That was the reason why Slander was there, seeing if he could get a deny in, perhaps. But that's 2 towers difference. The gold difference going the way of TCM pretty heavily towards the 5k right now, with the experience also over 5k. And this is basically Phantom Lancer fighting for his team, and without him having a good time, his team won't win right now.
Absolutely. I agree with you. They did do a good job of warding up this Ancient Camp, but it's already on 3 stacks, and 2 of those are Rock Golems, so they weren't going to stack it much anyway, and they'll probably be able to counter ward before they start stacking again. So right now, TCM, I would say, kind of in command of the game despite the tied scoreline, but that doesn't mean that OsG can't take it over. I mean, they do have a Blink Dagger Batrider who hasn't gotten that much done yet, but a couple ganks would turn that completely around. Oh,
yeah,
Blueberry
talking about ganks, Lasso up on Blueberry. No escape for him. He is silenced. He does have a Shadow Blade, but it doesn't matter. He goes down. There wouldn't have been any detection, by the way, should he have gotten that Shadow Blade off. But that's a pickup that they need. They need these kind of pickups. They build their lineup around this with the Blink Batrider, with the Queen of Pain. These kind of ganks are needed to create space for that Phantom Lancer to farm up his items. And Phantom Lancer is not going to have much time anymore because gank. Smoke.
Yeah, I completely agree, Sheever. If TCM adds some more wards in this dire jungle, regardless of whether they find the kill on Alba here, which they might, there's the vision.
Ooh,
oh, hookshot misses.
Hookshot missed. Demonic Purge is there, but the dusts they should be there too. Actually, no dust. That's a gem. And that is Alba dead once more. Team coming in, but too late. Slow is there. Mystic Flare is there as well. Nobody's standing inside of it though. We're not gonna be okay for now. Cooldown coming down. Whoa, Skywrath, Rubik, Bedrider, and Courier going down. And the only one that didn't die was Slander, who was thinking about jumping in, then decided, wait a second, my team is dead. Let's not do that. And that's 4 people dead in this very short period of time. Go Audio coming in there at exactly the right time.
Yeah, very nice reinforcement. Good movement and rotation from TCM here. They lost nobody in that engagement, and that was very, very excellent play from them, I would say. Killing the PL is the most important thing, but completely punishing the team's attempt to counter you is great. Again, this gyrocopter is 3-0-3. He's going to have his BKB very, very soon, and that presents an extreme problem for OsG. They needed to kill this gyrocopter well before he hit his BKB timing, because now Queen of Pain is going to have a hell of a time actually doing anything to him. Skywrath Mage is going to have a hell of a time doing anything to him. Only the Phantom Lancer will be able to duel this gyrocopter soon.
Yeah, there will be, of course, still the last suit to hold him in place, but is it gonna be enough? Is there gonna be enough damage to go through while he is in that last suit? I mean, you gotta assume that there's also, since he has that BKB, or since he will have that BKB, he is gonna be the target to also get disrupted first. I mean, it's...
Yeah.
It's very tough to deal with them now.
Yep.
It's, yeah.
I really think the TCM have, so far in this game, kind of outplayed OsG. OsG just haven't generated the opportunities that they would need to, given the fact that they had a lineup which is, you know, about killing people. In theory, TCM went for an extremely greedy approach, and when the other team goes greedy, you should be seeking to punish it. And they've tried to some extent, but they just haven't had the success. They haven't actually been able to punish any of TCM's greedy decisions that are now, I mean, we're 21 minutes in, and Gyrocopter picked up his Midas around 4 minutes.
Yeah.
We're only 1 or 2 minutes from that Midas completely paying for itself with no deaths in the interim period. And that's just gold. The XP advantage that he's got with that is enormous. Look at the levels for this Nature's Prophet and Gyrocopter that they got from these Midases.
Yeah, they're level 16 and level 14. Up against the Phantom Lancer that of course has been solo experiencing, solo farming. He is level 13 however, and he might be... No, Blueberry Ninja is going to be just fine. Sentry Ward was just placed slightly out of range of the...
They've got Dust too. But they knew that they didn't... I don't know why they didn't Dust actually. I think they could have Dusted.
Yeah, I think they could have Dusted actually. Interesting. Oh well.
Also getting really, I don't know, it's just a little bit less clean of a game than I like to see from them. In the first couple of games we saw when they were really impressive, they just played so tightly as a unit, and I don't feel like that's happening this game as much.
Nope. Tier 2 tower, middle lane, under siege. And this is a Gyro also fighting, by the way. Like he is ready to join his team. He's not farming as much anymore. And this is good. I mean, this is just them saying, like, we're done. We know that the Phantom Lancer isn't, so we're going to take the opportunity to just push down the entire team of OsG and force Phantom Lancer also to hang back with his team, just in case there's a fight. He needs to be there and just make sure he can't fight in the meantime, or can farm in the meantime, rather. He actually went for his Vitality booster. So no, well, that's going to be hard soon, hopefully.
It's going to be hard. Usually this is pretty smart, Yasha Heart and then finish the Manta, and he needs to get ahead of this Gyro somehow. Keep in mind, Gyro's going to have Manta done right now. Audio has it, basically. So he's getting way ahead of where the Phantom Lancer is. Like, in that race of damage versus HP, PL has to hit that Heart soon. Because he is facing a 4-level deficit and a 5k net worth deficit.
Yeah, 200 gold per minute or extra on the Gyro compared to the Phantom Lancer, and that's
still
really
farming
troublesome.
up.
And he is still farming, yeah.
Now they are working on the Batrider hasn't stopped farming either. He does have his Blink Dagger. He's going to move towards. My guess is he'll actually make the Force Staff before he finishes tier 2s. No, he's gonna go Tranquils. Oh no, this is for his Force Staff. Yeah, so he's gonna make Force Staff. I like this pickup a lot. If you can lasso and Force Staff out before you actually get disrupted, that's a huge deal to actually get the positioning that you want in fights.
Yes, we're gonna see them counterwording here. I mean, there was a gem. Oh, it's the Clockwork that has the gem again. So Werner has it. And they're all 5 mid again. Well, 4, because Nature's Prophet is split pushing, but he can be here. He can be the number 5 real fast if he wants to be. The tower dies to YO with the Shrek Edict, taking the extra gold. I mean, supports are gonna be a bigger and bigger impact on this game. We do have Shadow Demon, of course, he's always going to have a big impact with that disruption. In terms of items, he doesn't have that much, but on the bright side, he hasn't died yet this entire game. The Shrek actually picked up his Ogre Axe for his start of his BKB, so that will be that one complete. Has died twice for his team, but you know, it's better him dying than I guess carries and such.
Yeah, and Clockwork has Mechanism plus 2.4k, so they're getting development across a lot of heroes, honestly. Basically, these teams have two very different lineups. Like, TCM's lineup is very good all around. They have push from Leshrac, especially when he goes Edict primary. They have push from Nature's Prophet. They also have good team fight because they have Clockwork, Shadow Demon, Gyrocopter. So they have a very good mix, and they have late game coming from the Gyrocopter as well. Like, they're a very mixed lineup. OsG's lineup basically boils down to 4 people who want to get kills early and then Phantom Lancer. So if you don't get kills early, the main purpose of your lineup has sort of withered away. They need to sort of find ways to isolate heroes from TCM and find pickoffs. So they have an extremely mobile team. I would want them to try to use that more.
Yeah, it's gonna be very tough though. I mean, yeah, they're mobile, but how can they pick off people that are together a lot? And even when they're not, they're never alone. Like someone is always fairly close by at least. And of course, Nature's Prophet is always a TP away. So
you're exactly right. And they also, OsG's vision right now is very defensive, so they don't even know where TCM are unless TCM are inside of their base.
They catch out Blueberry Ninja though. He goes down and there's nobody there to TP into him to help him out. And Gyro just left the jungle, so he was there just a little bit too long. I would guess, as we have got TCM, they scout out wards. They were gonna maybe trying to surprise the enemy team, but now no longer can do that. Maybe they're preparing for a Roche kill as Roshan is still up. It's 25 minutes in. All the outer towers are dead on the side of OsG, and this could be the time for them to just take Roche, go high ground, or at least try to push into the base of OsG. But for now, they're waiting to find a fight. Maybe get a pick off, and of course having Nature's Prophet back, get a pick off, and then go for Roshan afterwards. Right.
Well, they countered the ward here, so they're at the very least they're going to get vastly superior vision of the pit, and that's a good start if you want to secure up the Roshan. If they could put a ward, if TCM could put a ward somewhere in this region, so like around here-ish, that would give them basically complete understanding of OsG's approach to the pit, with the exception of Batrider. But a solo Batrider coming in, the worst he can possibly do is take your Aegis and die, which is not, it's a big deal, but considering how ahead they are, it's actually not that big of a deal. They are going to finish off this Roshan, so I don't think Batrider even has time to do anything.
By the way, I can't see when you draw on the minimap or when you ping on the minimap. I can only see it when you draw on the map. And I have my camera there at that time.
Okay, that's really weird. Oh, nice.
Gyro still picked up the Aegis though, but he did get lassoed. And he does pop his BKB. He's gonna try and turn this around. Alba running for his life. Can they see him? They need that. They need that dust. And that should be Alba going down. Soul Catcher hits as well. Rocket Barrage. And that's already 2 dead. Rubik on the sidelines. Skywrath Mage on the sidelines. Judo going down as well. Force Staff and Blink actually. He's gonna be fine. Slander is fine as well by the looks of it. But that is 3 heroes dead, including the Phantom Lancer. And they didn't even get the Aegis off that.
Yeah, he still has the Aegis, which is... It's such a big play, too. The lasso was almost perfect. In fact, I would say that it was perfect. It was a perfect pickup of the lasso. I think it's still in the Aegis, too. That would have been an even bigger deal. But he picked up the Gyrocopter and took him way far away from his team. And you don't even pick off the Aegis. There it goes, finally. But brutal fight for Oz. Like, they're just getting pounded right now.
Yeah, and Go Audio doesn't have his BKB right now, but it doesn't look like they can really do anything without that Phantom Lancer there. But the pressure came on 2 lanes at the same time on TCM, and they might be paying for that right now, because Wern is in a lot of trouble. 3 stacks of sticky napalm, Silence Up will go down. And the gem of True Side on the floor. Oh my god, they don't see it. They already went low ground before they saw it. That is huge.
That's a pretty serious mistake. I mean, it's not the end of the world, because it's just... Nature's Prophet with the Shadow Blade, but it's so much easier to... Okay, they found it. Alba will find it. Okay. Yeah, he pinged it. Yeah. So they will pick up that gem eventually. He's just trading it for a branch, which is smart. So, okay. It's not over for OsG yet. They have all of their tier 3s. They don't even have that much damage on their tier 3s. They did manage to clear out that Aegis, and Phantom Lancer is only about 1,000 gold off from his heart, and at current rates, that is about 2 minutes. So he'll have the heart soon. And that puts them in a little better shape, in my opinion.
Yeah, it looks like Ats is the richest support on the planet. He picked up a Blink Dagger. And that's what you get for not dying and for being involved in kills and such. So really nice for him. And just showing once again how far ahead he is on the supports of OsG.
Yeah, a Shadow Demon with no deaths is pretty remarkable, frankly. Shadow Demon is, I think, on pace to be the most deaths hero in the Eastern qualifier, and he was one of the most in the Western qualifier. Simply because he has no ways of defending himself other than disruption, and he usually needs to use it on other people. But this is great. I mean, 205, that Blink Dagger gives them so much initiation power just with the Shadow Demon alone. It's almost like a Lino, where just Blink Dagger lets her be in extremely unexpected locations and just screw your team up.
Yep. We'll see it though, because right now, TCM, they're not looking for a fight. They are actually farming up right now. Maybe because they want to wait for the butterfly to be done and go audio. Maybe they want to make sure that there's going to be another Aegis up, which I hope is not going to be the case, because that will take a fairly long time.
They don't need that. I don't think they'll wait for the Aegis, but they might wait for one more big item. So, like you said, the butterfly and gyrocopter, and Nature's Prophet is pretty close to his next item too. If he wants, for instance, an Orchid, which would be an extremely good pickup in my opinion, just because Skywrath Mage, Queen of Pain, even Bat Rider are very, very vulnerable to Orchid Malevolence. So it would be, in my opinion, a very strong pickup.
And he already, of course, has got that Hex, so control is already in favor of TCM, even with a lasso on one side. But they basically, the only control they have is the lasso and the telekinesis in terms of shutdown, and then you have, of course, got the silence, which is great. But still allows someone to hit, so it's not going to be working against the gyro, for example.
Right.
So we have got Slander with an Invis rune. There's no new gem up on TCM, but they were smoked, and I realized they're not smoked anymore, so I think they know that there's someone around there, but they're not gonna pop. Oh, they have got the gem up on Shadow Demon actually, but he wasn't in range of Slander right there, so that's that.
I mean, gem on Shadow Demon's pretty good, because usually you don't want gem on your SD because he dies all the time, but again, Otze hasn't died at all, and he has Blink Dagger to get around, so this is a nice position to have their gem on. Now they're just stealing these ancient camps, just adding insult to injury. Go Audio is now 5 levels ahead of Alba, and if you look at the net worth, he's just completely dominating this game. This is what happens when you have a gyrocopter who goes tangos and nothing, rushes Midas, and then never dies. He just ends up so dramatically ahead on farm.
Yeah, and him not being ganked, or Gyro not being ganked, while Phantom Lancer, of course, did get a bit of a tough time on his lane. It's, yeah, it's making Phantom Lancer just being that much further behind. And of course, I mean, he is still Phantom Lancer, so if he gets the time, he'll still be that Phantom Lancer that everybody hates / loves. Oh, we're in a lot of trouble. Mystic Flare will be there as well. They do get that kill, so that's a great one. And that will stop TCM from pushing in. They need that clock. They need that control that the cogs offer, and the chaos as well that he creates, of course, in initiation as well. So OsG just bought themselves some extra time for the Phantom Lancer to continue to farm. And he has his heart.
He does have the heart, yeah. That was just an out-of-position clockwork there. Verno was way far away from his team. I don't know. You're up against a team that can pick you off extremely easily with Blink Lasso, so just a little bit of a mistake. It's not that critical. They didn't lose the Nature's Prophet again. They didn't lose the Gyrocopter. Clockwork is only level 13, so it's only so much of a bounty, plus his respawn timer is only 52 seconds. It's a tough kill, and they will have to wait to push, but it's not fatal.
We have Slander picking up a Mystic Staff, so that's going to be his Hex on the way. Not that fast, though. I mean, Slander, you already mentioned it. I mean, he had a good mid lane. Well, not he didn't really have a good mid lane, but he didn't have a very bad mid lane, and he should be the hero that
kills.
Yeah, he should be the hero that dominates mid game. He wasn't able to do that. He picked up a BKB as his first item, but wasn't able to use it all that much. I mean, he's only used it once even, and he is kind of behind on where he would be expected to be.
Yeah, to be perfectly frank, I meant to mention this earlier, I don't really like the BKB. In general, BKB first on Queen of Pain is a very defensive choice, which is sometimes justified, but in this case I don't feel it was justified at all. I mean, I could be wrong, but there's not that much magic you need to watch out for on TCM's lineup. Like, are you just so afraid of Split Earth and Pulse Nova from the support Leshrac? I really feel like it was an overly defensive choice when, if he had a good start, he could have rushed something that would have given better damage and actually let him lead his team. Like, he hasn't used this BKB much, and he's had such a quiet Queen of Pain game. You don't pick Queen of Pain so that she can survive. You pick her so that she can dominate the opposing team.
Yeah, and BKB, not that item then. to really dominate with. As, well, people just continue farming. So, Butterfly is ready. 3,800 gold up on the gyro again. He has got buyback. What is TCM waiting for is my question. Because Roshan is I guess Roshan is 2.5 minutes away.
It's a little less than 3 minutes. They could wait for the Roshan. It does seem like they will. The thing is that they feel no urgency, and I don't blame them that much. The only thing that could provide a source of issues is this Heart Phantom Lancer, and he's about to hit Manta Style as well. I feel like they can't wait too long, but they probably at this point can wait for the Roshan. They'll probably have another item on Gyrocopter, something like an MKB, which, interestingly enough, he would have to replace the Midas with, and I don't know if he wants to let go of that Midas.
Doubt it. He had it for so long.
He can't take the Aegis if he picks up another item in place of that Midas. He's out of slots.
He's probably gonna sell the Midas once the Aegis drop, assuming that they will take it. Not quite sure if Goaudio will actually be the one to take the Aegis indeed, though. I mean, putting it up on a YO allows you to get a lot of extra damage in as well. As the hook shot attempts to go on Judo. Can't find it though, but the Demonic Purge is still there, slowing him down. There will be a disruption as well. There's gonna be a Sprout in seconds. No Sprout being casted, but it doesn't matter. Nature's Prophet gets hit anyway, and Slander, he turns on his BKB. Sonic Wave gets wasted, and that's 3 heroes dead because all of a sudden there also was a Skywrath Mage in the middle of all of that. And this is gonna be a very unintended fight, but TCM will take it gladly. OsG
yeah, I mean,
brought the Queen of Pain back for this.
They buy back. Look at how Slander is falling. I mean, what's the point of this BKB really? Like, all the damage you're facing, all the damage you need to be scared of is
it stops you from taking damage from Flak Cannon, doesn't it?
Does it?
I believe it does.
I don't think that's true. Maybe you're right, but still, at that time he was getting auto-attacked by the Gyrocopter and auto-attacked by the Nature's Prophet. So, considering the fact that there's so much ahead of you on levels, the Nature's Prophet is dealing 190 auto, the Gyrocopter is dealing 260 auto, you're just going to melt because you're behind on levels, and the BKB really doesn't help you survive in that situation. Now they've basically secured up a Roshan for themselves as well as a set of barracks. It was a very tough fight for Oslick, and again, that's the Blink Shadow Demon there. Even with fairly poor coordination in terms of that kill, they ended up wasting the Purge, more or less. Its damage didn't deal, and they missed a Clockwork Hookshot, and the Nature's Prophet Sprout wasn't very useful. They still killed the Bat Rider easily. That's how many mistakes they can afford to make and still get a kill. Oslick, they might try to sneak Roche.
And they're gonna try though. They smoked up. There's no wards up for TCM around there, so they could do it. Unless, of course, TCM goes there as well, because this is a fairly... they know that Roche is gonna be up in just a second. There it is. The ping goes as well. They check. And Judo's looking for a pick-off.
This is a delicate situation.
Yeah, they're gonna find someone. Oh, that's a fake one.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay.
That was close. Judo looking for maybe a lasso, but he is gonna get locked into Cox. 4-stabs himself out. Silence up on Werner. Cannot really chase at all, but hey.
He died.
Nature's Prophet's ultimate. Hello.
Ouch. That's brutal, honestly. Without the Bat Rider, no hope to get this Roshan. This is a free Roshan for TCM, no question. Who are they going to put the Aegis on? I'm guessing maybe Nature's Prophet?
Well, Nature's Prophet not really here. Has a CP on cooldown as well, so we'll see. Might still be Hawaii though, like I said. I mean, there's a lot of magical damage.
Actually, yeah.
Out.
You're right. You're completely right. He's got his BKB too, so this is great now. This Lashrak, even though he's pretty low level and doesn't have a good mana pool at all, because he's still on brown boots, now has 2 mana pools that he can chew through just by spamming Pulse Nova. That's a really good call. That's a smart pickup for that Aegis.
I really like his horns, by the way.
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. Rare horns. I like his spikes then too, because apparently they are not attached. I thought they were one item.
Yeah, they're not from the same set, but they match so well.
Yeah, they do. Well,
good job,
TCM. They already took one Rax lane. Lane of Rax. They're gonna look for a second. They're still very far ahead, over, like, around the 30k gold, and over 30k experience. This is looking real bad for OsG, and I'm not sure how they can hold on. I mean, in theory, Phantom Lancer should at some point be able to 5 versus 1 your team, like 1 versus 5 your team, but he is far from that point, and Gyro is level 25. He is looking full slotted. and they're just gonna go up the high ground. They're just gonna walk up there. Lasso still
Nice
catches
lasso.
out Elgo Audio, but there's a disruption helping him out. StarLadder turns on his BKB, Sonic Wave, but Audio already had his
my God.
BKB and he hits hard. Skywrath Mage goes out from just flat cannons, and that should be game if Alba goes down here, which it looks like is going to be the case. Will it be the case? So one disruption, Soul Catcher. Here comes Blueberry Ninja as well. The Hex is not going to be there. Never mind, it's still there, but is there enough damage? He's in his base. Doesn't matter. You can kill people in their bases, and that's going to be another set of racks going down.
Really nice play, actually, entire game by the Shadow Demon. Atsa has played extremely well. Very, very on-point disruptions, including that critical last disruption to prevent Go Audio from dying before he could use his BKB, which was actually a possibility, surprisingly enough. But he saves him with disruption, then he uses the disruption to pick off the Phantom Lancer. Just an excellent, excellent Shadow Demon game. But really, and I hate to phrase games like this, but this game was more about Oslick letting it get away from them than TCM dominating it. TCM made certain choices which are justifiable in some situations and not in others. They were very greedy. They took 2 Midases early, and Oslick, they saw the Midases and they didn't really respond. They waited to get the Phantom Lancer farmed, and they got the Phantom Lancer farmed, and it didn't matter.
Yeah, it's them knowing that they wouldn't get punished for anything early game. They had the time. Because they knew that Queen of Pain can't do anything without her level 6. So Batrider needs some time to farm the Phantom Lancer, and his trail lane is just going to be very defensive. So you have all the time in the world in the first 6 minutes to do whatever you want, including going greedy with Midases all around. But we're going to jump ourselves to the next game, Alliance versus Roxkiss. That's going to be the match of the night, I believe, for StarLadder today. Day number 11, this was game number 1. We're going to jump ourselves into the second game, which is, like I said, Alliance versus Roxkiss. Stick with us. We'll be right back with you.